What would it mean for everything we know if the very heart of our solar system, the sun, suddenly exploded? Would the universe even notice? Or would it be like a single candle flickering out in a vast, endless night? This isn't science fiction. This is what physics tells us could really happen. Imagine the sun as more than a bright circle in the sky. It is the quiet metronome of our lives. The reason days pass, seasons change, trees grow, and oceans breathe. Every heartbeat on Earth follows its rhythm. But what if, in a single instant, that ancient rhythm stopped? What if the sun exploded? We've heard stories like this before, in movies, in headlines, in distant galaxies, stars that suddenly tear themselves apart in colossal explosions called supernovae. But could our sun ever meet such a violent end? Science offers a calmer answer. The sun is a modest star, middle-aged, steady, reliable. It shines by quietly turning hydrogen into helium deep in its core. A slow process that has lasted for billions of years. Unlike massive stars, the sun simply doesn't have the weight or the pressure to explode. One day, far in the future, it will swell gently, shed its outer layers, and fade into a silent ember, a white dwarf. No explosion, no cosmic scream, just a slow goodbye. But curiosity asks a different question. What if the impossible happened? What if, despite everything we know, the sun exploded anyway? For a brief moment, nothing would change. For just over 8 minutes, the world would continue as usual. People would walk, birds would fly, oceans would rise and fall, unaware that the sun was already gone. Then it would arrive. Not sound, not heat, but a silent wave of particles passing straight through Earth, almost unnoticed. And moments later, a sudden flood of light and radiation, not warmth, not daylight, but energy so intense it would tear apart the very fabric of our atmosphere. The side of Earth facing the sun would not burn. It would vanish. Oceans would lift into the sky and disappear. Air would be stripped away. The surface would dissolve into glowing plasma. And gravity, that bond we never feel but depend on completely, it would vanish too. At the same instant, the light arrives. The sun's gravity would release its grip. Earth and every planet would drift forward alone, no orbit, no center, just motion through endless dark. Within days, temperatures would collapse. Without sunlight, the oceans would freeze, the air would fall as snow, the world would turn silent, and still, our solar system, once a graceful dance, would scatter like embers from a dying fire. But here's the part most people never consider. When stars truly explode, they don't only destroy, they create. Supernovae forge the heavy elements, iron, calcium, gold, every atom that gives your blood its color, every mineral in your bones was once born inside a dying star. We are not separate from these explosions. We are their memory. And that makes the sun's real fate even more remarkable. Its gentle life, its quiet death, is what allowed Earth to remain stable for billions of years. Violence shapes the universe, but so does patience. Not every story ends in fire. Some end in light. So what does this tell us? That we live in the calm after ancient storms. That our existence depends not on destruction, but on balance. And maybe the greatest wonder isn't what would happen if the sun exploded, but that it hasn't. That it rises again and again, offering warmth without asking anything in return. In the next story, will ask a question even more unsettling, one that challenges not the sun, but time itself. Until then, remember this: some questions aren't meant to frighten us. They're meant to remind us how rare and fragile this moment truly is.